all is well with everyone. Hello, hello. Welcome in. For the people that are new here, you do not know who I am. Hi, my name is Kendra. I'm a plant-based lifestyle strategist. And today we're going to be talking about breaking free from the health industry's trap because we're, as a society, stuck in this trap for the health industry. And we don't realize truly what's going on. And so we have to make the connections of our feeling and this cycle that we have all spiraled down because we fit ourselves in this box of normal, not realizing the fact that this box of normal has let us down generation after generation of diseases and not realizing our body's true authentic design. And so, if you are somebody who feels tired and fatigued, overwhelmed, sluggish, you feel like you have mental fog often, this live is going to support you in just breaking down the concept and really getting down to the nitty-gritty of the root cause of why you're feeling that way and how they are profiting off of you not realizing how toxic and terrible the foods are that you consume, the products that you use, and how you're being poisoned in every aspect that they possibly can. And they know that you don't have enough time or energy to research and educate yourself, to change the habits and the ways that you have on your own without actually having to sit down and have a realistic chat with yourself that a lot of people don't have enough time for. A lot of people don't have enough energy for. And so they know this because they program our society this way so you don't question. And so the question that we need to start out with and ask ourselves is, have you ever really sat down and thought about how much you spend on your health? Do you really know how much you spend on your health? And when I say that, because people are out here feeling only to feel worse. Keep that in mind. You spend all this money to feel worse, but you're sitting out here stuck in this cycle of being fatigued, sluggish, having mental fog, having weight fluctuation. You're suffering in all these aspects and you're searching for answers in this health industry. And they tell you to search for answers in this health industry. And the answers to your problem are momentary band-aids. They tell you go get a supplement. They tell you take this medication, get a surgery. They tell you to sit here and do procedures and all these different things to help your health, to better your health, to support your body and getting back to the way that it needs to be back to normal. But then you see afterwards, you're still feeling bad, if not worse. You're spending all this money on prescriptions and medications or doing diet culture. You're doing Weight Watchers and Jenny Craig and spending all this money on these programs. And you're not really sitting there thinking about the fact that people go through, for instance, Jenny Craig, Weight Watchers. They get off of it and within a month they gain the weight back and then they gain more. You don't think about the fact that you do diet culture so often because you're healthy. You want to be healthy. You want to take care of your body. And you do diet culture. Yet somehow every single time you end the diet, you feel bad. And then not only that, but you gain all the weight back. Why is that? Why is that? Really sit there and think about it. Why is that? It's because you're not diving deep to the actual root cause of what you've been led here for. You're not actually diving deep and understanding that we're trapped in a system that is designed to poison us and nobody's questioning. Nobody's questioning enough how they're okay legally allowing all these additives and fillers, preservatives, and all these things in our food. Why it's okay for them to legally color the food. When it comes to meat, they can legally color it. It can be green, it can be yellow, it can be blue. And they'll color it to make it the color that the meat needs to be so they can still sell it to you. They're legally allowed to cut cancer off of the meat and still serve it to you. Thanks for all the follows, guys. And so really sit there and understand it goes deeper than you simply thinking about your next meal. And you don't have to stress yourself out. And that's what we're going to talk about as we dive deeper. It's not something to fearmonger or to stress you out, but it's because you have to become realistically in this space to understand what is going on. Thank you for the gifts. Because if you are not really taking in the fact that this health industry that we have is an agenda against us and our health is reflecting that, if you haven't sat there and really come to terms with that, this live is not only going to help you do that, but really sit back after this live and wonder, how have you been programmed so deep into not realizing that they have poisoned you for years on end and nobody in your family knows how to take care of their body? That's the reason why diabetes runs rampant in your family. That's the reason why PCOS and fibroids and painful menstrual cycles runs through every single female in your life. Sit there and really think about the fact that you haven't been taught how to take care of your body. So that's why everybody has high blood pressure. That's why everybody's insulin resistant in your family. Think about the fact that that's not the reason why diseases thrive, is because it runs in your family's genes. It's because everybody has the same exact habits. Everybody does the same exact thing, but then you expect different results when that's not possible. It's the literal definition of insanity. Thank you for the follows and the gifts, y'all. I really appreciate it, because we are trapped in the system and then we need to break free. And so how we break free starts with one simple thing, which is figuring out the steps for us to, first of all, to choose the healthy lifestyle and what health truly means, and then reparent and reprogram what health truly looks like for ourselves. Really sit back and realize that they tell us to eat meat, they tell us to eat dairy. And these two things are running rampant in our society far as food, the fast food industry, restaurants, what we cook every single day. And we have too many food-related diseases in society. If that is the main source of our dishes and our food that we make is meat and dairy, and we are sick as a society, when are we going to step back and realize these two things are not supporting us? We don't get enough nutrients. We don't get enough minerals. We're not getting the natural things that we need with the food that we're eating. And that's just outside of processed foods, because processed foods have a whole bunch of additives and fillers. That's just addressing the fact that when you go get a real actual meal that you view as something that is a real meal, you go to McDonald's, you go to Burger King, you go to Red Robin's, you go to Buffalo Wild Wings, and you go and you're like, let me get my protein because this is meat. This is what you're focused on. And then you get whatever French fry or whatever else side that you consider good. That's not even addressing your processed foods. That's just addressing the fact that every time you eat a real actual meal, you eating your breakfast, your lunch, your dinner, you spike your insulin every single time you do that, because you throw off your body with the foods that you're eating. You're not hormonally balanced because you're not getting the nutrients that you need. So then you're also not converting the sugar that you consume into energy, because it's not natural sugar. You're not having any vitamins and minerals and nutrients from the actual foods that you eat. And then you fill in yourself with these snacks that are processed foods. It's not possible for it to actually work for yourself. It's not really legit, or not legit. What was the word I'm thinking of? It's not feasible for you to sit here and think that your body is going to be working at full capacity, functioning at high capacity every single day. But every single day, you poison yourself with the foods that you eat, and you don't use food as your medicine. Like, it really makes no sense. And people want quick, fast solutions. That's another thing that people really don't think about, the fact that they use these momentary band-aids, all of these different type of surgeries, and you're going to get medications and prescriptions as something to quick, fast, hurry, get the solution over with and done, because you don't want to deal with it. And so when you really sit back and you think about the fact that people aren't taking the time to heal themselves because they're too busy worried about a quick, fast solution, these are band-aids. These quick, fast solutions are not getting you what you need to heal. I'm not saying don't go to the doctor. I'm not saying don't take a herbal supplement or a tincture. What I'm telling you is you're not taking care of your body by using food as your medicine first. So you cannot expect to get real results from these things. If you're taking herbs, supplements, tinctures right now currently, because that is the natural way, that's the way you should be consuming and the way you should be treating your body, but you're taking those and you're not using food as your medicine, and you're not supporting your body with food, understand that you're wasting your money, and you're really wasting a lot of the product that you're using, because it's not at the full capacity of potency that it could be inside of your body if you were eating for your health rather than just to fill. And a lot of people don't understand the fact that they eat to fill rather than fuel. They don't eat real whole foods, because you can enjoy the foods that fuel your body, but you have to know what they are first. You have to know how to support your body through that. And if you are in a space where you are ready to learn that, one, this live will support you. All the past lives that I post on YouTube, my plant-based mastery playlist will support you, as well as if you want to tap into I have products and services linked in my bio, plant-based cookbook. I have a program that you can tap into. All of these things will support you in not only getting into a plant-based lifestyle, but starting to see how you can shift your health all with food. I'm so glad that you got the live too. Hello, welcome in everybody. I am seeing all the responses for the people who have purchased the cookbook. Thank you so much. And I'm seeing all of your positive responses towards it. I'm trying to get all the screenshots to it so I can start putting that on up on the site and things like that. that. But I do, for the people who have purchased, you do have a questionnaire coming like 4 days after you purchase. You get your product. It is an ebook, by the way, so you get it as soon as you buy it. You will be getting a fact like questionnaire kind of thing, just so I have it on record, because I have so many people come to me with success stories and I forget to save it. And so people are so skeptical about living a holistic lifestyle, changing their lifestyle, understanding how to support their body and healing. And they're so skeptical, but there's so many success stories. Like, I literally scroll down Facebook groups and there's tons of groups of people talking about how they healed themselves from cancer, no chemo, no radiation. All they did was change their lifestyle to plant-based. They went raw for a month and saw the cancer literally put itself in remission. Didn't have to do anything extra. Healed themselves from diabetes, high blood pressure, high cholesterol. All these things healed, all by going plant-based. I fast every single day, intermittent fasting. Thank you for the roses. But fasting is not going to get you to the healing and the health that you need on its own. And that's why I said a lot of people do one thing and you miss out on everything. Just like thinking back, let's think about school, for instance. Let's think about school. When you were doing the scientific method, you don't go, when you're breaking down the scientific method, you don't go from you making an assumption, thinking of your question, and then all the way down to the end of the experiment of, okay, we have the results and we know the answer. You go through each method to get to the end result. And so you have to do the same when it comes to your health and your healing. Just like how people believe they can do a diet for a moment and then go back to their lifestyle, they're skipping steps. That's why diet culture does not support you, because diet culture puts you in this mindset of, I can eat any kind of way, skip to a diet, and then go back to eating all the crap. No. If you want to truly get rid of the weight fluctuation, support your body in healing, and learn how to help yourself completely heal from the inside out so that you're doing this sustainably, you go to the steps. You get the mindset correct to figure out, okay, what mindset have I had towards food? Do I have a healthy relationship with food? Probably not. Do I have a healthy relationship with actually living a healthy lifestyle? Usually don't. Next step, after we get to the mindset, we get rid of that. We change it to, I'm going to do this for myself. Now it come in the habits and the actions. So now we're going to have the habit of, okay, what am I switching out slowly? What am I going to start to do? X, Y, and Z, so that I no longer fall back on the old habits. These are the things that you start to take action towards. These are the steps you have to have. And then after you complete these 2 steps, you start to do sustainable products. You start to move into other categories. So then by the end of you hitting all the milestones, like you learn in my program that is only 3 months, by the end of that program, you learn everything you need so that you can live this lifestyle for the rest of your life, just like I plan on doing, because there's no reason to go back to poisoning yourself. Absolutely no reason. And so within a small amount of time, you could take today, start now, and by the end of the year, by 2025, you'll walk into 2025 not only healed and healthy, but also literally living your life when it comes to plant-based and knowing how to share it with others so that they are supported as well. There's steps, there's levels to this. There is no momentary, you do this, and X, Y, and Z, and all of a sudden, boom, everything's going to be healed. You're perfectly fine. Go back to the way you were. Because that's what society believes in. And you see how sick we are. You see the conditions we are under. Diabetes, insulin resistant, skyrocketing. They're seeing it in young adults and teens, and they're about to outbeat adults. That's what we're not understanding. Young adults and teens are about to rank over adults when it comes to having insulin resistance and diabetes, when that never was the case before. They're seeing young kids start to develop type 2 diabetes like never before. But we tell kids, especially nowadays, we tell these kids, it's okay for you to eat that because you're young. You'll learn later on to start eating more vegetables and fruits, but you don't even eat vegetables and fruits on a regular basis. So how do you expect a child that has never seen anybody eat fruits or vegetables sit here and turn around when they hit 20 plus, all of a sudden want to eat fruits and vegetables? That's not possible. Like, really, think about it. You were programmed from a young age, because I was a child who did not like to eat meat. I was programmed into eating meat. I never really was a big meat eater as a child. My mom kept enforcing, you have to eat a meat, you have to eat a meat, you have to eat a meat. And then I got to the point where I liked meat. But I wasn't a meat eater in the beginning. That's programming. And I'm not blaming or faulting my mother. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying anything, because that's what she was taught. But then when I come back and I'm like, hey, there's plant-based protein with this. There's plant-based iron with this. You can get everything you need without actually having meat and dairy. And I'm the literal proof of that. They're like, wow. They see the difference. They see the results. The same thing how I have people come to me and they're like, what did you do? Because you completely changed. What did you do? Because you look amazing. Your skin's great. You slimmed down. I tell them the same thing over and over again. I stopped choosing the foods that were poisoning me. I stopped choosing to eat meat and eat dairy because I feel like I can never give it up. I chose to tell myself, let's just see how this goes. Let's just see how this happens. And as I started to see my body heal, I said, I will never go back to eating the way that I was. And this was just a tester for me. Like, I literally went in, like, first month was trial and error, obviously. Second month, trial and error. Third month, I was like, oh, I'm not vegan, I'm plant-based. I get it, because vegan products are still making me toxic. After that 3-month mark, I saw the shift in my health, in my body. I had asthma. I developed it in high school. I haven't taken my inhaler since I went plant-based. I was having knee pain at 5th grade. Could not run without 2 knee braces. Had to have a knee brace on each knee. Now here I am, 26 years old, which I was told I was going to have a knee surgery by 22 if I stayed active. I'm 26 years old and I'm running again. No knee brace. Haven't had a knee brace. Help myself get rid of my asthma. No longer have an inhaler. Don't even know where it is. It's probably in the trash. Really sit here and think about how inflamed you have been all of your life, because I was. That's a sign of inflammation. All of those issues causing and manifesting themselves at a young age is a sign of inflammation. And we don't know the signs in our body because we ignore them, because we're taught to ignore them. We're taught that these things run in our family. Just like having painful menstrual cycles. That's not running in your family. Every single woman is not suffering every single month that you have that has painful menstrual cycles because it runs in your family. It isn't running your family. It's because of overconsumption of sugar, hormonal imbalances, and you not realizing the fact that you have something that is going on internally that you need to heal. And because your menstrual cycle is the telltale sign of how your health is. And a lot of people are not told that because our doctors are not taught that. We go to these doctors, these Western medicine doctors, and they're not taught that our health, our reproductive health, our menstrual cycle are 2 telltale signs for women of how healthy we are. Not just how you smell, but actually what you're going through. What happens in between then. These are telltale signs of how healthy you are. That breast pain that you have every now and then that's super, super sharp, that's a sign telling you your lymphatic system is blocked because your bra straps are blocking your lymphatic system. Your bra itself is blocking your lymphatic system. Like, really sit here and start to learn the signs and break them down, but we're not taught them. And we're not taught to educate ourselves on these things because we're not supposed to go against these people who have the agenda against us. But that is not the case anymore. It's time for us to wake up because they're projecting by 2030 that they are going to make over $1 trillion profit off of us being overweight and diabetic alone in the US. $1 trillion profit. How do you think they're going to make this $1 trillion profit? I know exactly how they're going to make it. And the question is, do you know how they're going to make it? Do you understand where this is going? Because our authentic design is to heal from the inside out. Our body is able to heal itself. So if they're projecting to make $1 trillion profit off of being overweight and diabetic by 2030, and we're already seeing diabetes running rampant from younger and younger, hitting the children's ages for type 2 diabetes. It's because nobody is learning how to heal. Nobody's using food as their medicine. Nobody's eating correctly. Like, it doesn't take that much to make the connections, but it takes time to educate yourself on how deep it truly goes. Educating yourself on how to shift your mindset to get away from the programming. Because you have to reparent your mindset first. You have to focus on reparenting your mindset first. And if you cannot get out of the mindset of, oh, I can't do this, medication support me, my doctor would never do this, any of that mindset is going to keep you here and keep you ill, raising the next generation to be poisoning themselves, generations after that to be poisoning themselves, when you don't deserve it and the child doesn't either. And it's never too late for you to learn. I don't care what age you are in this live right now, what age you are. It is never too late. That whole mindset of old dogs can't learn new tricks is programming, once again, to keep you in this mindset of once you hit a certain age, there is no learning. Your life is over. It's all downhill. You've hit your climax. You've hit your peak. That's not true. The last breath in your body is your final act. That's your final act. This isn't over until the Most High says so. So why would you end your story earlier than what he tells you it needs to be? And that's what you're doing when you're sitting here consuming any kind of way, not conscious of what you're doing. You're ending your story earlier than what it needs to be. You're sitting there making yourself suffer and have a long suffering, all because you're not taking care of your body. All because you don't want to eat correctly. All because you're so fearful that you won't be able to eat your Sour Patch Kids, your hot chips, or anything else that you truly, truly love. You're so afraid. But you haven't even looked at anything to see if there's an alternative. Because you're so addicted to what you already have, because a lot of people are not understanding that. Thanks for all the likes and the gifts, guys. I really appreciate it. Thanks for all your comments. If you have any questions, drop them down at the end. I do try to get through my points first, and then we hit questions at the end. Commentary is perfectly fine in between, or if you have a specific direct question to what I just said, that's fine. But any other specific other questions outside of the room where we're talking about, please leave them to the end. But I lost my train of thought. That just reminded me, because I didn't want anybody to think they're being ignored, because you're not being ignored. I lost my train of thought. Hold on, y'all. Let me hit my points. Let me see. This is why we have points on our live, because I forgot the last thing that I said. If somebody could remind me, that'd be great. But I'm going to look through here. If not, we'll pick up on the last point that I could think of. Okay. I don't remember exactly what we were saying, but we're going to move on to this point. These medications and these prescriptions that you're taking, they're a way for you to control and manage. They're not a way for you to heal, because you think if you can manage it, you're in control of it. If you know that your doctor has told you you're going to manage your diabetes, you're going to manage your high blood pressure, then you think that it's under control and you're going to be okay. But you're not realizing when you are sitting there managing something, just like you maintain your car. Managing is keeping something alive. You do maintenance on your car so it doesn't break down. You do maintenance on your dishwasher so it doesn't break down. Actually doing maintenance on your body is not you sitting here taking a prescription or a medication for you to be able to help manage and control the issues that you have going on. Managing your body and the issues that you have going on looks like you taking a step back, getting to the root cause of how you've gotten here, and then starting to heal. That's how you sit there and you take control and you actually start managing your body like you maintain your car. You don't give your car, for instance, how you have your spare tire. You don't take the spare tire and think you're going to go take a road trip on the spare tire. You know that spare tire only has a certain amount of miles, only has a certain amount of, miles per hour that you can go on it. And you need to hit a maintenance shop really soon. That's what you're doing every single time you take a medication or a prescription and you think that's going to heal you. You're sitting there on that spare tire hoping it makes you to the next destination. And you're not realizing the fact that that's not there for you to sit there and depend on it for the rest of the time that you're driving the car. The medication is not there for you to depend on for the rest of your life. This system of Western medicine was brought here originally in the intent of emergency situations, which is perfectly fine. But we have taken it, and now it's not emergency. This is the way that we cope every single day instead of dealing with the actual issue, because we're too busy addicted. That's what we were talking about. That's where we were getting back to. Thank you. Most High is he's so amazing. You're addicted to these things and you don't even realize it, because the signs are there. The foods that you eat, the things that you consume that have additives and fillers, and they have these fake essential vitamins and nutrients that they tell you on the box for labeling. They're addictive, one, because they throw off your chemical balance when it comes to your brain, which makes you crave it more. Two, they don't get absorbed through your body for the fake iron that they add in, the fake fiber, the vitamin E, vitamin A, all these things that they add that are fake. Your body does not recognize them as the natural source, so it does not keep them. It does not use them. It just holds on to it as a toxin, something that's foreign. And so they store inside of your fat cells. This is how you sit there and you develop being overweight and weight fluctuation, because your body does not release that. It doesn't know what to do with it, so it holds on to it because it says this might be nutrients. Let me see what I can do with it. And you don't realize that your body is holding on to this. So you're trying to figure out where this weight fluctuation came from. You're trying to figure out how you can't manage and maintain a simple weight. You're sitting here thinking that it's your age when it's not your age. It's the habits that you've had since the age of whenever you started eating catching up to you. Because let's really break down, like really sit there. Because we love to say, like, for instance, black don't crack. And we see that woman that's over there taking care of her body. She's doing what she needs to do. Her skin's looking great. She's slim. Regardless if she's skinny or thicker, she's still slimmed down. She looks good. She takes care of herself. And the people that I have seen that don't just sit there and say, well, like, yeah, I just work out and I just run. They actually eat plant-based foods. They eat more fruits. They eat more vegetables. They take care of their body and make sure that they're healing. They don't take prescriptions. They don't need surgeries. Because they know how to actually support their body, and they're not addicted to all of these chemicals and crap that we are as a society deeming as normal. And this box of normal has led us down this path of being diabetic and obese. You literally walk outside and you look outside and you count 3 people. And this is from the I think CDC website. Cause I look at like American Heart Association, CDC, and all the stuff for like diabetes and heart disease and cancer. They said if you walk down the street, count 3 people. Out of every 3 people, one of them is diabetic. Adults, let me clarify. Out of every 3 adults, one of them is diabetic. Out of every 3 adults, not young adults, just adults, one of them is diabetic. It's getting worse for young adults. Young adults, I think it's now, you can count about every 10, about 1 to 3 of them will be diabetic. But still, the ratio is about the same. It's really about the same. And so you deserve better. And you deserve to sit there and know how to take care of your body to not having to be managing something for the rest of your life. When you're managing it, you also have to realize when you're managing a disease and you're sitting there having to manage, you're gonna have to spend money on that. Our industry, as far as it comes to like insurance and coverage and everything, it's shifting, it's changing. Our world is changing. Our food is changing. Can you only imagine what it's going to look like when they stop telling you that you pay on a tier of insurance that we no longer cover your insulin for? And so you have a year's worth of coverage with no insulin help. So you have to pay out of pocket. Can you imagine what that's going to look like for a lot of people? Because when insulin went through its spike, I think, what was it, last year, a year or 2 ago, when they were charging $100 plus, and the government had to come out and be like, wait, you can't do that to people. Start giving them their insulin because you're restricting and you're raising the price. Can you only imagine when they actually have a shortage where they can't control that anymore, and the government says, who can afford it? You can afford it. If you can't afford it, you better pay out of pocket, or you better up your insurance to a higher level, because everything is going up. So why do you think that insurance won't go up too? Or at least they won't change your premiums and your policies so that you have to pay more. Like, so really sit here and break it down. Not only are you going to be suffering with your body, but you're also going to be suffering in your wallet. Why keep poisoning yourself and making yourself go down the path of not having enough financial stability? All because you want to keep eating these foods from these people that have an agenda. Going through this whole process of, I believe in the food industry and I believe in the medical industry, so I'm going to keep putting money where it doesn't need to be. Because where your money needs to be going is, first of all, figuring out what foods you actually need to be eating, how to actually support yourself. And if you need to spend on the education to get there, then you do that. The support, the accountability, then you do that. But if you're like me, I spent since 2020 doing hours of research, learning how to support myself, learning how to change my whole lifestyle completely so that I didn't have to sit here and suffer and develop diseases like I was, then you are ready and you know that it's time for you to start supporting yourself, and you're realizing the fact that you have been misled and these people are taking you down the same agenda everybody else is following the river going down. Because there's absolutely no reason that they're telling you to your face that they're making edible plastic, and they know that there's microplastics in your food, and they know that there's additives and fillers that are toxic, that are harmful. But it's okay. Let me go. It's doctor backed. It's approved. So you can keep eating it. It's okay. I said it's okay. That's like the little kid that you, like when you were a young child and the kid went over to you and told you, my mom said that you can do X, Y, and Z, but you know that your parent said that you can't do that. Did you listen to the child or did you listen to your parent? I don't know about y'all, but I knew that I had a different type of relationship with my parents, that it was a healthy fear. I knew if my mom said not to do that, I'm either calling or asking her first. So really sit there and break it down, the fact that you know that your own mama, not saying that she actually told you, but your mama sat there and told you, hey, You know, because y'all take y'all's doctor's word for bond. Your doctor told you stop eating so much sugar. You know you should stop eating so much sugar. You've been told from multiple different accounts in your lifestyle, in your life, you need to stop eating so much sugar. You could tell by the way your body's reacting to stop eating so much sugar. And yet you keep arguing like that little child that's sitting there talking about, you can do it, it's okay. You can eat that sugar, it's okay. Like, keep arguing back saying it's okay, but then all the signs are pointing towards no. So then you're going to wonder why all of a sudden you have insulin resistance and diabetes. It makes no sense. It makes no sense. And so I was sitting there and was thinking about in the beginning, like what I was doing, how my life was. And I realized the fact that not only was I not intaking enough fruits and vegetables, I would eat my favorites. I would eat my favorites always. Always was eating my favorites. But I never had a craving for like I do now for like, I'm randomly craving cucumbers. I'm really randomly craving asparagus. Like green foods that I wasn't craving before, I'm craving them now. And then not only that, but I feel off when I don't eat enough fruits. I never had that instance. I never had that feeling. And people don't have enough of that feeling. People don't have enough of that feeling when it comes to water. Because they'll talk about all day, oh, I'm thirsty, I'm dehydrated. And then they go in the fridge and go get some juice. They go and get a Pepsi or a Coke. They go get some type of Sprite, carbonated drink. They do that with every single meal, every single time they get thirsty, never drinking enough water. Or they water it down and claim that's how you get water. When you don't realize that soda specifically throws off your gut balance, throws off your gut pH. Not only from the carbonation that you're drinking and usually combining it with food, which makes your body not be able to decompose and digest like it needs to be because you're eating meat, so it has to decompose the meat. And if it's not, that means it's stuck in your digestive tract. Like really sit here and think about it. It's not breaking it down like it could be. So now your pH level is not high enough because it's too busy trying to fight off the carbonation that you're drinking while you're eating. So then there's food stuck in your gut. That's the reason why you get a stomach ache. That's the reason why all of a sudden you get the runs. Because your body's saying, oh, hold on, you got too much in the digestive tract. Now the food wasn't completely decomposed, so now you have a stomach ache. You pass it and you think you're okay, but you're not realizing the fact that parasites are thriving and loving that environment. So now you just fed a whole bunch of parasites because meat carries parasites as well as feeds them. So if you had any dormant in your body from the past time of you eating meat and dairy, they're sitting in there and you're having an issue balancing and digesting completely and fully because you eat too much, or your pH, your gut is not balanced enough to support all the food that you consume in that meal. Now you just fed parasites and now they have stuff to feed on to get more babies producing and to keep on flowing and going in your body. And you don't even know how to cleanse them without taking these momentary tinctures. You taking these different things that they give you from these powders and the TikTok shop and everything else. You spend money on that and you don't even realize the fact that that crap right there is only getting the surface and the babies. It's not getting the deep ones. And I just watched a TikTok that I'm going to either stitch or I'm going to repost. I can't decide. I think I'm going to stitch it. That was talking about a brain surgeon. She's a brain surgeon who pulled out, I think it was I don't know if it was a 3 foot. I know it wasn't 3 inches. I think it might have been 3. I don't know. It was 3 something. 3 foot, 3 inches. Either which way. Too big. It was a parasite, an acidic worm in their brain. And she was saying how much it scarred her. Like this has probably been months to a year since the instance. And she was talking about how scary the situation was when she was doing brain surgery. Because when she held on to it, she knew it was not meant to be there, but she didn't know what it was until she pulled it out and realized it was a parasite latched onto their brain. Growing. They had a tumor in their brain, and this parasitic worm was thriving there. So really break that down and think about all the people who have cancer, who do not know how to do a parasite cleanse, do not know how to get rid of these parasitic worms. How much these worms are sitting there feeding, and that's the reason why it's growing and multiplying and growing and multiplying. Because they're not eating it up to get rid of it. They're eating it and feeding off of each other. Toxins love toxins. Toxic loves toxic. We love to say that all the time. Toxic loves toxic. So when you're toxic on the inside, which manifests itself into disease and illness, These parasites are thriving. That's why they love your body. That's why they love being in your body, in your gut, in your biome of your digestive tract. No amount of you taking these supplements and these tinctures and you doing these herbal cleanses and all of these different things that they're promoting and pushing to you with powders, you're wasting your money and your time because it's not getting deep enough to get rid of the gut deep, digestive deep parasites, the brain deep parasites. These things pass your blood-brain barrier only when you have no protection. Only when you've been doing years of poisoning your body. Microplastics breach your blood-brain barrier. Parasites breach your blood-brain barrier. So at what point are we going to realize there's an attack on our body? And it's deeper than just wanting to eat and fill my stomach because I'm hungry. It's deeper than, oh, all food is poison. No, it's not. You're choosing the poison. You're going down this path of choosing to impact your health negatively. Because I started to choose to impact my health positively, and I see how my body has positively changed. I don't sit here and go outside and talk about, oh my God, no fruits, even get vegetables are organic. Oh my goodness, I'm not going to be able to eat anything. I'm going to have to starve. 4 years into this lifestyle, and not once have I ever let that come out of my mouth, nor felt like I needed to say that. And it's because I support my body. It's because I know how to take care of myself. And I understand that there's an agenda against health, and too many people are being pushed down this agenda of holistic medicine is bad. Fear holistic medicine, fear herbs. And if you do take herbs though, only take it if you're doing it this way. And they tell you all these different things. They give you all these different tinctures and supplements or these little capsules. Don't tell you it has gelatin in it. They don't tell you that it's not regulated, so it probably doesn't even have what they're telling you is in it. And then on top of that, they don't tell you that these prescriptions and these medications that they give you, the prescriptions and the medications that you depend on, have herbs in them. They make you so fearful of holistic medicine and healing. But then you turn around and you look at the ingredients of you getting Tylenol, you getting Aleve, you getting Advil. It has the same properties of herbs. It uses herbs. The only difference is they put chemicals with it. That's the reason why you don't heal, you just manage. They add chemicals. Or the kicker is when they just give you a whole bunch of chemicals inside of it, and then that's it. There's no healing properties whatsoever, and they tell you this is how you manage. No, your body is addicted to the chemicals, and your body is literally fighting chemicals. Like it's latching and holding on to the chemicals. It makes absolutely no sense that they are legally allowed to do this. But at the same time, legal and rights are two different things. Legal and lawful are two different things. Yes, it's legal for them to do that, and they know it's not right. But at the end of the day, legally it's allowed. It's not against the law. It's not right. Physical law of man and being is not right. But the legal law, they don't care. They don't care. At the end of the day, how much money can they make? And that's exactly what they focus on. How much money can they make? They don't care about the fact that your energy is unstable. You have no energy all throughout the day, so you don't work at your full capacity. You can't even do anything for yourself when you get home. They don't care about the fact that your blood sugar has never been stabilized. You've never known how to take care of your body, so you're insulin resistant. They don't care. They don't care. That's why they're projecting to make $1 trillion profit off of people being diabetic and obese, and it's not a national crisis. It's not a U.S. crisis because that's in the U.S. alone. It's not viewed as a problem that they're going to make $1 trillion profit in the medical industry alone because you eat too much, because you don't know how to take care of your body. It's not a thing where they're coming out with this new ban of no color food coloring, no additives and fillers in your food. But guess who's doing that though? UK. The UK has literally just passed a law that they are banning advertisement towards children when it comes to processed foods. We would never in the US because that's a profit margin. The UK just banned advertisement towards children when it comes to processed foods, as they should. And so that just tells you right there how they view our future versus everybody else views their future. Because in the US, they're like, oh, you're just going to make yourself sicker. So let's just go ahead and make sure we have the profit margins and we're ready for it. In reality, them being ready for it is just making sure that they have enough charge for them to make money, as well as they have enough different types of prescriptions and vaccines and all these other things that they're going to give you so they can make money. Because they're going to start coming out with, just like how they have all of these weight loss shots and they have all these weight loss programs. What do you think they're going to make now after they get in 2030 when they're making $1 trillion profit off of you being overweight? Now they know that you have made yourself overweight to the point where you know that you need help and your doctor's telling you, stop eating this. You have to change your lifestyle. You're going to unalive yourself in 5 years if you keep eating this way. They're going to come out with something new, something for them to profit off of. And they're going to be like, here's this new shot. Here's this new surgery. Forget lipo. Here's something different. Here's depo. Like they're going to give you all kinds of different things. They're going to be like, forget liposuction. Let's try this. There is a trend that the future is only getting worse. The trend has been showing you since 2020 that things are not getting any better. And this trend just keeps pushing its agenda of either you shift now or you don't. It's as simple as that. You accept it and you shift now or you don't. So start your health today and don't just decide you want to start in 2025 because it's January. It's a brand new year. Because that is the earthly calendar, first of all. But we're not going to get into that. But this earthly calendar that we sit here and we really take and hone in on. It's January 1st. I have to get my life together. I have to start working out. I have to start doing this. I have to start doing. Why didn't you start like today? Like, for instance, how you could start today. Why didn't we start today? Because that's not your that is not your motivating thought. That really and truly is not your motivating thought. If you are ready to step towards the health that you need and step into the lifestyle changes that you need to start implementing today, because it's not time for you to wait until 2030 when they start telling you everything is going bad, your insurance company is dropping people like flies, and all this other stuff is happening, and you have stress of work, stress of your family, stress of everything else. It's not time for you to change then. It's not time for you to sit here and be like, okay, now I'm going to get my health and wellness together. Now I want to go down the natural path. Not saying the health won't be there, but what I'm saying is, the help won't be there. I said the health. Not that the help won't be there to better your health, but it's going to be way harder. It's already hard. So how hard do you think it's going to be when society is getting worse, when your job is getting worse with stress, when you start getting dropped from insurance companies because they don't cover you because you eat X, Y, and Z, because you do this, because you weigh this much? Like, really sit there and think about it. Your doctor, they weigh you, they put it in, and then you get that recorded. Can you only imagine when they start telling people, if you're 200 plus pounds, we can no longer cover you under this. You have to be this tier and above. Because we have a crisis when it comes to being overweight, even though they know this crisis was a crisis before they made it a thing. Because that's where we're going. There's an agenda. The agenda is for them to make money. How are they going to make more money off of people once they hit their $1 trillion goal? I know. Let's start making them have to pay more. Let's stop covering from this. So either they're going to end up in the hospital because they have no help and they're going to have to go to the hospital, go to the emergency room, or they're going to pay us $200+ for this and this and this and this. They're going to have a surgery because they want to be under that 200 mark so they can be fit in this little tier of classes of who can get this kind of coverage versus who has to have this coverage. That's the same thing they do for smokers and non-smokers. You know, smokers pay more of a premium because they know it's a higher chance for them to have lung cancer. So can you only imagine when they turn around and say, well, you have a history in your family of being diabetic and it's stemming from them being overweight. So we're going to go on ahead and make you have to pay the premium because it runs in your family, right? And your family does the same thing and you're already on the line of 200 pounds. So we know you're going to be over that. So you're going to have to pay the premium. You don't get the base minimum package. It's realistic, and that's the reality you're going to have to face. They might not say it exactly like I did, but I promise you, they're not going to miss out on this bag. Because if they were wanting to help you, they would make this a national crisis now. Because 2025, that's 5 years to get it together. That's 5 whole years that they could help society get back to health, release diabetes and insulin resistance, and learn how to actually eat real foods. But instead, they're telling you, it's not getting any better, so let's just know we're going to make $1 trillion profit off of you. That's what they're telling you now. They're also telling you there's a 2030 agenda. They're also telling you they're making edible plastic. They're telling you all the things that they're going to do, and yet you just ignore them and keep on going with what you're doing. Because either it doesn't fit with you now, so it doesn't affect you, or you just feel like you don't have enough time to change, or maybe you don't know how. And if you don't know how, but you want that for yourself, then you can get that. And I'm here to show you, one, I'm literal proof that you can help your body heal and you can transform your whole entire life all through the habits that you have. It's super easy. You just have to learn how to eat according to what you need to be doing for your actual body. There is no eating for your blood type. For the people that are believing in that, there's no eating for your blood type. Eating for your blood type is only promoted by the people who sit here and eat meat and dairy. All of us are broken down the same way when it comes to essential nutrients, vitamins and minerals, and getting everything that you need in between of that. The earth provides all of that without you having meat and dairy. When you look all the way back from the beginning before sin entered this world, only reason why we started slaughtering animals was because of the lack of resources from them traveling and struggling to find produce, struggling to find natural things, going through deserts and having to slaughter an animal in order for them to eat. They would go months to years without having any meat. They would only eat meat during celebrations. Really sit here and put that in your brain. The only time we started eating meat was after sin entered the world and there wasn't a plethora of vegetation and we had to do traveling, we had to do struggles, we had to go through all these different things. Plagues. But in the beginning, the authentic design for a people were to be dominion over the animals, not eat them, but dominion, mean to control them, to get them to be here safe, to X, Y, and Z, be a shepherd, be a herder, be different things for these animals. Not a murker, not a person that unalives them and eats them. We were still eating fruits and vegetables, even though the animals were here. In the beginning of the Bible, they weren't eating these animals. They were having dominion over them and using them for the lay of the land. We only started eating meat when it was either no other choice because we have no other vegetation or it was a celebration. Now society eats meat every single day, multiple times a day, and we wonder why we're sick. We wonder why we're ill. People knew the importance of fasting and learning how to healthily fast and not sit here and starve themselves, but know how to fast to use it appropriately. Nobody knows how to do that anymore. And then people want to complain. It's because of the habits that you have. When are we going to sit here and realize you don't know how to take care of your body? You haven't known how to take care of your body. And it's okay. It's not a crime or a shame on you or your family or your peers or whoever else. But now that we are at our big old ripe age, what do you want to do and how do you want to change that? And so if you are ready to change that and you want to make it an easier process for yourself, on top of this, the education that you can get, but you can work with me and you can either get my plant-based cookbook or you can tap into my program. My program, I'm telling you, get in now because by the end of the year, you will have everything that you need to walk into 2025 without you thinking that you have to do diet culture. You have to step into the space of 2025 and now change your lifestyle, now change your habits. Start today. So January is not difficult. Start now. So February is not difficult. Because by February, you'll not only be eating the way that you need to be, but by the end of it, you'll feel great. So when springtime comes around, you're not sitting there feeling that droopy, crappy little feeling that you feel, but rather you'll start to be like, oh, okay, I'm already prepared for the summer. I don't have to get ready because I am ready. Because that's exactly what they say. They say, be prepared so you don't have to get ready. Be ready so you don't have to get ready. A lot of people are not prepared. They're not ready. They haven't been ever. And you don't realize that and you don't know how. You don't know how to get ready so you can be ready. But that program gives you practical steps to not only healing, but also understanding how to make your plant-based meals, working with me so you have accountability and having one-on-ones with me so that if you have any questions, it will support you going through your pantry, getting rid of all the crap and finding sustainable solutions for your replacements, making your own non-chemical products, things that you have around your house, not using any chemicals, and also making your own medicine. Because we all get sick every now and then. You get a sniffle, you get something going on. Kids get sick, it just happens. You shouldn't have to depend on some type of Alka-Seltzer Plus, this Advil, this tablet, this whatever, Mucinex. You should be able to go in your home and be like, this is medicine, ginger, you sitting here using lemons, limes. These things are medicine. You knowing the properties and the effectiveness of honey. Understanding how to use these things, when to use these things, what child can take what, when they can take what, at what age. understanding what you need as a person, or your child, or your family member, or whatever else, without having to go to the doctor. Not saying you don't go to the doctor, but you don't need to go to the doctor and get a flu shot every single year, get a pneumonia shot, or anything else. There were plenty of people that were using these same methods that we're teaching people and educating people on today, that were taught back in the day, that have been dispelled because they're too busy telling you that's not going to work because you need a flu shot. That's not going to work because you need the shot from 2020. So the matter of what do you want to do for yourself and how do you want to help yourself heal? And before I close, drop any questions that you have down in the comments, please. I will answer them now. But I want you to understand that you don't have to settle. You don't have to settle for managing a disease. You don't have to settle for this is a diagnosis that I've gotten, so I have to deal with it for the rest of my life. You don't have to settle for this whole lifestyle of being insulin resistant, diabetic, not understanding how you're fatigued, how you're sluggish. Not realizing that you have not been supported all your life has led you to settling for less than what you're actually designed to have, which you are designed to be healthy and healing. You are designed to be taking care of your body and your body healing from the inside out. So how are you going to do that? So if you have any questions, please drop them down in the comments now. Before I hop off, I'm going to give you a few minutes. If you have any questions about the program or healthy lifestyle living, if you have any questions about just overall in general a plant-based lifestyle, what it is, getting deeper into it, healing in general, any health issues that you have going on, or if you have any success stories, we'd love to hear them. Drop them down. We love to hear a good success story. Anything like that. How do I get it? It's linked in my bio. The cookbook is linked in my bio. You can get a Klarna Farmer Afterpay. It's $25. But yeah, as soon as you tap into that and you buy that, it will be sent to you directly. Like I said, that is a ebook. And it is just showing you beginner ways for you to be able to cook plant-based meals, for you to be able to understand how easy it is for you to cook plant-based meals. And these meals that are in this book are the ones that have led me and helped me be plant-based for 4 years now. Like, these are just like my go-tos, if that makes sense. Like, these aren't the, like, I have different things that are in the work for me thinking about, but like, these are the meals that I think like, I don't know what I want to cook tonight. Oh, I don't feel like it. Or, oh, what's something quick and easy for me to do? Like, easy for me to prep if I feel like I have a whole lot of energy. These are the kind of meals that show you like a beginner way for you to see how easy it can be for you to cook plant-based meals and for you to be able to cook at home. Because a lot of people that I talk to don't cook themselves, or they don't cook enough at home. And so this is a good way for you to not only see how easy it can be for you to cook plant-based meals, but also how simple it can be for you to prep and to support yourself. If you have kids, how easy it can be for them to help you prep, and just to minimize time. Because I feel like in the beginning you said, how do you look to my bio? So you can click on my icon up here. You can click on me, and when you click on me, it should pull up my profile. Click my picture again and it should pull up my page, and then my link is in my bio. But yeah, I know in the beginning I felt like I was in the kitchen all the time, and it's because I didn't prep. I didn't prep anything. I didn't prep. I just got in there and was like, oh, I want to eat. And it burned me out. It did. But like, that was a part of the 3-month trial and error in the beginning. I can't say, like, I went through a lot of trial and error. And so for me in the program, I try to support you and help you, especially in that program, of not having all of that trial and error. Because there was a whole period of time, and yes, I didn't think like, oh, I'm gonna quit, this sucks, it's hard, but it's that period of time that brings in doubt for you doing all the trial and error. Because you know, anything you start, when you go to the gym and you're doing a whole bunch of things and you're not seeing results, and you're like, I don't know, that makes you bring in doubt. And so I want people who are wanting this lifestyle to not go in here and have any doubts or fears or feel uncomfortable or feel unsupported. So that's what that program is. It's not only support, but it's a full walkthrough. So then by the end of it, you can say, oh my goodness, yes, it was a journey, but that was an easy way for me to step myself into it. It might not be the simplest thing every single day. You might have trial and error still, but you have support. You have somebody you can ask questions to, and you have a full walkthrough that doesn't leave you sitting here not knowing what you don't know, if that makes sense. Like, I know when you remember as a child, when you had a test, for instance, and you felt good, you felt prepared for the test, you studied, but then you look and you don't know what you don't know until you get to the test. So then you get to the test and you're like, oh, I didn't know I didn't cover that section. That must have been in the book and I didn't read that part. You don't know what you don't know until you're there, until it's time for all the questions to come up. And so that's how it was in a plant-based lifestyle. And a lot of people get there, that they don't know what they don't know. So they feel like that they're taking care of their body. They feel like they know how to get their B12. They feel like they know the correct way to get proteins. They think that they have to have one source of protein with every meal, because when you're sitting there eating meat, that's what you focus on, the one primary source of protein, which is you getting chicken or beef or whatever else. But then when you really sit back and you look at a plant-based plate, you can have 5 to 6 different proteins on one plate. But people are so concerned about getting one source of protein. That's the difference between having a plant-based lifestyle and a meat eater lifestyle. You cannot compare the two because they're, hold on, y'all, it's asking me to verify myself. Oh, what? Oh no, hold on. I clicked on my accident. Okay. It's asking me to verify myself. Hold on. You cannot compare the two because they're not the same process. Just like we talked about in the beginning, there's levels to this before you get to the end result. You can't just go in the mindset of, oh, I'm going to eat all of my proteins in this one singular meal starting out my day. Because then you're going to be eating a whole lot of food. Like, that's what I have to say. It's a whole lot of food. But then that is the upside of living a plant-based lifestyle. You can eat more food. You can also get a higher quantity of, for instance, if you're looking for protein, a protein from 1 to 2 sources of you eating one singular meal. But you can also spread it out and eat multiple things. So if you're a person who likes snacks, if you're a person who likes to eat 2 to 3 times a day, not saying that you probably won't be able to, because I can't eat that many times a day anymore. But what I'm saying is you will tailor how you eat to what you want to do. If you want to have one big meal a day and snacks in between, you'll be able to do that. But you're not going to get one protein and then think that's going to give you all the nutrients that you need. Because when you're eating a rainbow plate, like you should be when you're plant-based, you should hit every aspect of the essentials that you need all through each plate that you get. So by the end of the day, you've covered everything. You started your day out giving yourself the high energy that you need, so then you can convert that into energy to use for your body to work for the rest of the day. You get your pick-me-up during lunch. Or if you don't eat breakfast, because I don't, you usually flush yourself in the AM. Then you get your pick-me-up for lunchtime so you can make it through the rest of your day. And if you are like me who likes to eat a big dinner, you get your big dinner, you get you a snack before bed, and then boom, you're covered. So then the next day, you're not waking up starving. Because that's what a lot of people that I find out, they are hungry earlier because they didn't get enough nutrients before they went to bed. Because when I wake up hungry, I sit there and go, what did I eat before? And usually it was something that was nutrient dense. A lot of us are not nutrient efficient with our food every single day. And that's the telltale sign of how I can read my body versus other people. I know when I don't get enough nutrition before I go to bed because I wake up hungry. People just think it's normal. And I'm going to leave y'all on that. If you don't see any more questions, so I guess I'm going to hop off. Because I'm going to leave y'all with that. Too many people love to sit there and talk about how they wake up hungry and they don't know how you wait until 12 p.m. to eat or after that. Because you didn't go to bed with enough. So I appreciate everybody that's liking up the live. Thank you. If you have any questions after I get off, or if any of the links in my bio don't work, please DM me. And if you have any questions, my DMs are always open for questions. If you have any questions, if you have any concerns, please feel free to DM me. If we do lose TikTok, follow me on here. But if we do lose TikTok, we will be going to other socials. You need to follow me on my email list so you know when I go live, as well as you know where we will be if we do lose TikTok in January. If you have not subscribed to my YouTube already, all of my past lives are posted on YouTube. So if you missed this live, it will be on YouTube. Probably, I don't know if we have the videos listed for this week, but it might be up this week. We do Tuesdays and Thursdays for our uploads. So if it's not this week, it'll be next week. And we also, did I mention? Yeah, social media links. Go grab your cookbook if you haven't already. Tap into the program if you haven't. I am going to get off of here now because now at this point I'm kind of rambling, and I hope everybody has a great rest of their day. Look for the videos that I have to post for today because I think we have a really, really good one. But I do think it will support you. All of my past lives Oh, I just spit. I'm sorry. My past lives will support you, and I hope you have a great, amazing rest of your day.